My name is Ashleigh Washington, and I'm the co-founder and a movement lawyer with the Collective for Liberatory Lawyering, also known as CALL. At CALL, we use law in service of the movement to end the school-to-prison pipeline. As Bell Hooks told us, to educate as a practice of freedom is a way of teaching that anyone can learn. We build power with the community to dismantle the ways our education system excludes many of us from this vision. As I've worked to dismantle punishment culture, I often reflect on my own experiences. When I was in the 3rd grade, I was at recess playing tag when a white student pushed me down and held me down as I yelled for him to stop. My friends, mostly black kids, came running to help. He got off me, he ran, I chased him, I punched him. It was a whole thing. Later, in the vice principal's office, the incident morphed from a fight between 2 kids to a racial incident where the black kids were angry and I was their leader. I left so confused about why I was the only one suspended. That was the first of many suspensions, and not once was I referred to a counselor. Suspensions increase the likelihood by 3 times that a student will enter the juvenile justice system. Black students receive harsher punishments than white students for the same behaviors. Students with disabilities are more than 2 times as likely to receive a suspension than students without disabilities. And they don't work. Research shows that suspensions and expulsions do not help to improve behavior, but they do create a culture of punishment and criminalization that pushes Black, brown, and disabled students and English language learners out of schools. This culture contributes to law enforcement in our schools creating criminal consequences for adolescent behavior. That's why we're fighting for police-free schools in LA, because there is a different way. Community has known it and the data confirms it. Education access requires alternatives to punitive discipline like restorative justice practices. Before we had a name for the school-to-prison pipeline, parents were documenting school discipline practices. In California, we learned of an undefined category for suspensions called defiance or disruption that had the highest suspension numbers and extreme racial disparities. Schools could suspend a student for wearing a hat or not doing their homework. Our coalition of parents, students, organizers, and advocates fought and got a bill passed that banned the category for most grades. Suspensions plummeted, and in many communities, racial disparities are decreasing. We supported organizing family stories and collecting data and used our legal services experiences to shift the narrative and build power to win that fight. Now, with our organizing partners, we are working on the most comprehensive investigation of school police to date, with the goal of ending all law enforcement presence in schools. We're asking for $250,000 to grow our collective and resource the data and artist expertise we need to build a powerful narrative for police-free schools. But we're also asking you to shift the way you see education from an individual pursuit to a collective responsibility. Join us in our movement for racially just schools and dignity for all students and parents.